Ah. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Probably Wrong podcast, where if you think we're wrong, we probably are. I'm here, Rob, Lance Vance Dance, and Adam. The Niners are pretty hurt this week for week 12. I can't believe it's week 12 already. Rob said he can't wait for it to be over.
I'm not too far. I'm not too far behind him right now. The way the season's playing out,
I'm having a good time.
Must-win game for the Niners this Sunday. Huh?
It pretty much is.
It is week 12. We just had a big snowstorm here where we are in Northeast Pennsylvania. Some places got 2 feet of snow. It's been a snowed-in kind of weekend. It's perfect for football. We got college on. The bets are flowing. How are you guys feeling?
Feeling good.
Good. It's going to be an interesting week 12 tomorrow.
What did we think about the Ohio State Indiana game? Did we think Indiana had a chance in the beginning?
I think Indiana would have stayed in that game overall if it wasn't for their special teams. Honestly,
that was awful. That he muffed that punt or the snap on that punt.
Yep,
it would have been 7-7 going into halftime. That's a whole different world.
I was actually watching the Miami game. Cam Ward, I like watching him play. I like that. He
played well.
Yeah, Miami's fun. Oh, a little Poe action.
Poe.
Yeah, he wanted to be part of the team.
He's allowed. He's always allowed.
What's his Gentry?
Gentry.
Gentry. Oh, yeah. So first touched the ball already in the first quarter, 67-yard touchdown run.
Oh, did they get?
Did he really? I didn't even see. I was setting everything in. That's great.
He's Colorado going down. That probably eliminates.
Yeah, they're done.
Big 12. That's upside down. Not for the playoff, but yeah, I mean they're done for sure.
I'll be honest, Colorado right now, Hunter and Sanders, you know where you're getting drafted, and if you're out of the playoffs, maybe pride alone, but I might be sitting out. My future is too bright for both of those guys to continue playing the season. I know they probably won't just because his dad's the coach and it's a pride thing and Sanders' name.
Yeah.
But if I have a future, if I know like we're done with the playoffs and we're kind of 500 now, what do I have? Like he almost tore his ACL today with that low hand.
I can't believe they didn't call that roughing the passer.
If his leg wasn't like 4 inches off the ground there at that last second, that might be a career ender right there. That knee's probably never gonna be the same.
Willis McGahee all over again.
Exactly.
If you remember that one.
I remember that one.
His mobility is definitely never the same again after that. I just don't think they have any incentive to keep playing right now if they're playoffs are done.
How do you think Hunter's
first overall? Well, I was going to say
top 10 picks.
Yeah, number 1 overall.
Is he going to play?
You're not going to play the Cheez-It Bowl.
He's a receiver. That's where the money's at for him.
Yeah,
receiver makes way more money. Plus, he has 4.2, 4.3 speed.
He's fast.
They're going to want that talent on offense, not
offense. Yeah, you could find corners.
Because if you're gonna, are you drafting a corner in the top 10? Where you're drafting him? I know that, but are you drafting him as a corner in the top 10, or are you going to draft him?
You're drafting him as a
receiver.
Yeah.
This is a great transition into the NFL because Shedor's, talk about going number 1 overall to whatever team needs a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the Giants,
Cowboys,
Eagles.
What? Come on now. Eagles are doing just fine. We're doing just fine. No Smitty, no problem.
Mm-hmm. I got a whole list this week.
Yeah, I was looking at all that before the show. Both of you kind of got a CVS receipt of injuries.
He has like obituaries at 75.
Yeah, it's tough out there for both of your teams.
Yeah, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Exactly as they think those things. Speaking of, I guess we could talk Niners. If you wanted, we could talk a little bit of news here. Right into the news. Froze, why don't you talk about the quarterback that's starting for your team this week?
Well, it's not Brock Purdy.
I know that. That's why I asked you to talk about him.
It's Brandon Allen. I mean, he had a really good preseason. I mean, he did look good in the preseason from when he played in the preseason, like 13 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He has some mobility, so that I think that's going to help him. Especially Trent Williams is doubtful.
Yeah.
So he's going to need to use his legs a little bit. I think it's going to be a big CMC day.
I was thinking that myself. I mean, there's no reason for it not to be.
And even
He's
just
fresh. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah.
You got to just lean on him.
And even the last 2 games, they even ease him in. Like first game back, 19 touches. Last week he had like 23 touches. I mean, I look for tomorrow 30 plus touches for CMC. I think
he's got to touch it a lot.
Yeah. I don't know about 30 plus, but I wouldn't be surprised. No Kittle, right?
Kittle's playing.
I know that
Kittle's
in. I should know that as the things that I've looked at today.
No Purdy, no Bosa, no Givens, Trent Williams doubtful.
Kenny Clark.
Charvarius Ward's out again. It's
How is that situation?
Bosa, you said he's out too, right?
I said Bosa. Bosa's out.
I know Ward's a personal issue with his daughter.
Ward's personal, yeah. I mean, I feel bad for him on that one.
Terrible.
He came back to practice this week, at least, so he's back with the team. Hopefully, as clearing his mind a little bit, getting his mind like just off that for a little bit. I mean, I can only imagine how hard that is.
Yeah. So the Niners have 6 guys out, 2 guys questionable on the injury report, at least.
It's gonna be a good week.
Though the Packers are without Jair Alexander, which is a good thing for the Niners.
Yeah,
I mean, if you could get the receivers the ball.
One thing going is, I mean, Packers defense isn't the greatest, but it's not the worst. I mean,
they're middle of the pack.
They're middle class. So I mean, if there's a game Purdy doesn't play, this isn't the worst case scenario.
D line's probably their best on linebackers, so that's where the CMC thing. He's gonna have to do a little more than he's done all year. Really, probably. He's gonna have to like CMC of last year if they want to.
Yeah, he's gonna. I think be getting ahead of ourselves here, but I think CMC's lock of the week for a touchdown scorer this week for sure. I just think volume wise, it's just going to be insane.
Yeah, and because it kind of doesn't matter. He's kind of quarterback proof. If that O line is doing, I know no Trent Williams. He says doubtful. Questionable, but
he's doubtful.
Well, NFL.com has him listed as questionable, but I'll take your word for it. But he's quarterback proof. If that team if he's get the ball, he's going to get into the end zone most likely with 30 touches if that's what he gets. In other quarterback news, Daniel Jones has been benched.
He's been cut.
Cut. Edit that out. Daniel Jones has been cut. Drew Lock, was the backup the whole season on last year, and then they move on, and it's Tommy DeVito right away.
From what my understanding, Drew Lock is pissed because they said that he was.
I would be pissed. He was literally quarterback 2 the whole season until the quarterback 1 went out, and then he became quarterback 2 again.
I think Giants are tanking. Money, they're full tank mode right now.
No, well, they talk about that. They also talk about they don't want to pay Locke. It's like if he plays like 4 more snaps, they owe him like $2 more million, something like that. We're talking about like basically if he plays again, they owe him money and they just don't. They want to save all the cap they can. They don't want to pay these guys.
So paying Locke $2 million is worse than paying Daniel Jones $20 million a year and cutting him just randomly.
$40 million last year too, which is crazy. But yeah,
cutting him is crazy in my opinion with that contract.
It's insane.
But I hope Tommy DeVito has like a shoe issue, like no injury, and he has to like come out of the game for like a series.
Locke has to come
and then Locke comes in and just fuck those guys a little bit more. I would love that. It's a knot in his shoe he can't get out, and then they had to go to the locker room and get it. He has to play 4 plays.
Giants have arguably the worst front office in the NFL.
He's still sitting.
Dallas has made a run for it lately, but
lately, but I feel like the Giants have been a well tenured shitbag of a front office. I know the Cowboys this season, offseason.
Let Barkley go thinking he was going to come back to the Giants, and he signed with the Eagles. Division rival.
The best season of his career. I don't know.
The Giants also have 2 Super Bowl more wins than we do since '95.
Yeah,
true.
Which is
I mean, they limped in at like 8-8. That's so annoying.
They win every decade.
They're like the Marlins
80s,
of baseball.
90s, early 2000s, 2011.
Yeah. The Marlins win a World Series like every 10 years for some reason.
And then they sell their best players.
Yeah, arguably the best roster in baseball, and then they just got rid of it. We talked about Brock Purdy. Quarterback Sam Darnold is off the injury report, and he's good to go against the Bears. Devontae Smith is out for Sunday night, hamstring. Jonathan Brooks is going to make his first appearance in NFL as the highest drafted rookie running back in this draft class, which, for personal interest, was not looking forward to that.
Chuba.
They just paid Chuba.
They
I know.
Miles Sanders, or they put him in the IR.
Yeah, IR.
He hurt his ankle pretty bad. So
yeah, is he gonna like go to a different team that's actually like decent and be competent?
Miles, I think he's always gonna be a career backup going forward.
That's
he's been in the league for a while.
I feel like he's gonna have moments though. He always has moments.
He's athletic enough to have moments.
He's a weird one. That's like a conundrum for me, where like you saw him play at Penn State, and then like his time with the Eagles when he first came in, he had like 4 or 5 80-yard touchdown runs, or 3 or 4, something like that, and like he just didn't look as bad as he is. And I don't know if it's like Carolina just being awful, and he's not a top tier back to be elusive enough in the backfield by himself. Like he's not Barry Sanders, obviously.
I think he's just like a downhill kind of guy now. Good backup.
Yeah, Chuba's good. That's why I have a lot of buys on my own fantasy team that no one cares about. But Jonathan Brooks looking to see action for the first time this week. That's some of the bigger topics that we have. Other than that, I guess we could just
let's get into it.
Let's go.
Picks. We got the first game on the slate. The Lions coming off of a drubbing, a go for 2 up 40, beating the shit out of the Jacksonville Jaguars, giving 7.5. In addition, 7.5 on the road.
I feel like 50.5 not enough.
You might be right. I feel like we keep saying this about this team.
But I called the Colts though last week. They're a sneaky team.
But
they're a solid team. They have a good coach.
Solid too.
They're probably like a quarterback away from being competent. Like
he didn't play terrible. Richardson didn't play terrible last week.
No, he didn't. He made some throws.
Yeah.
He didn't take himself out of the game. All is good.
He stayed in the whole game.
Yeah, but this game, I don't care how well he played last week, whatever. Plus, it's a dome, like that team plays better like when it's a dome and all that and the turf. So they're staying in that field. Believe me, the Colts aren't going to choke like that. No cop button. Not in the budget yet. Not in the budget yet, the cop button. But give me the Lions this week. I think they just keep drumming like you guys were saying. I think it's not relatively close. I don't think they even kind of stay in the game, even with the running attack.
I don't think they stay in the game. Unless there's a drastic injury to Goff or like Amon-Ra, I don't see the Lions.
But they could just hand the ball to that 2-headed monster.
I was going to say,
and Gibbs are so
good. That team needs like 3 injuries, like to be bad, like to be struggling. They have 2. I mean, maybe Amon-Ra, but like Sam Laporta hasn't even really been used.
He's been hurt off and on this year too.
I know, but you're right, and he has been hurt, but he hasn't really been used. And I mean, like Jameson Williams is factoring in
Jameson
what they
won.
thought when they drafted him.
He
Yeah,
went
and
Lynch
he's-
mode, baby. Beast mode.
Oh,
last
he
week.
did. I was
did.
thinking that, dude. I
He
watched
did.
that, and I'm like, you just came back off a 2-game suspension, and you're like, let me grab him.
He didn't care.
Let me grab him going in. I mean, hey, as a fan,
They're-
that's fun.
They're
That's
they're
fun.
fun to
love it.
watch
That-
right now. They
I
are
love
fun to
some
watch.
personality in football.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty much consensus. This is the best team in football.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah.
maybe we could probably agree and start it off with the probably wrong lock of the week here with the Lions
Detroit.
on the road giving 7.5.
Yeah.
All
I
in
like
favor,
it when
say
they
aye.
play.
I
Hello.
Hello. That's the lock of the week. We like the Lions. If you got money, put it on the Lions. 7.5. I wonder what this would be. This line would be at home. Probably 14 again.
yeah.
Yeah, 13, 14. You would figure it'd have to be.
It has to be at least 10.
I just can't believe they were giving 14 to Jackson. They won by like 43.
So how many of those 50 you think the Lions score this week? 30? I say about 30,
That's-
32.
That's
Thank you
the
for saying
question.
that, because that's what I was thinking. As soon as I saw this, I was like, 50.5 feels very
Colts
high
score.
for a
The
Colt.
Colts score though. Like they do score their own.
This has got to be like, if you're talking team totals, the Lions, it's got to be 30.
34 plus.
Yeah, I say they get their half, and then we'll see what the Colts do. Because the Lions secondary still isn't that great. And I think they just
Right.
lost a good DN too. As big injuries that we didn't talk about, they just
Yeah.
lost their good DF. Because Hutchinson's already been out and they lost their other
Hutchinson's
good guy.
out, yeah.
Their secondary, if you have to pick a weakness for this team, it's definitely the secondary. Staying on the Lions for a second, they in the beginning of the season, everyone talked about what they play 15 of 17 games in a dome this year. Do you worry about them in January playing outside
You
on the
gotta.
road if they have to? Like they could lock up home field and it'd be okay, but if they don't,
I think they need it. I know they have the
for
running
sure,
game.
right?
They can still run the ball playing the cold weather, but this team's built on offense. It's kind of like the greatest show on turf team. That's kind of what it reminds
Yep.
me of. It honestly reminds me of the Cowboys just 4 years ago when they were that high scoring 40 points a game. But
The
as soon as we
fantasy
went on the-
circus, like
yeah, when
every
we go on the
player.
road, it's a different kind of different atmosphere when you're not at home, especially in the playoffs.
Even not just not at home, like you said, like they're on the road this week, but they're in a dome. Like
Yeah. They're
and
built
it-
off speed and precision, and that all changes when it's cold weather in January.
like you imagine like having to go like into Lambeau. Yeah, like something like that. Or I mean, like not to be the homer, but like if you have to go into Philadelphia in January.
Oh yeah, no, that's a whole different atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like because that's the team that's threatening them for the #1 seed. So if you have to go into Philadelphia in January after playing all your games and climate control and turf and everything, that's
Based
got to
on
be
speed, yeah.
Who did they lose to?
The Lions?
that's a great question.
Was it the
Um,
Chiefs? No.
It's
No.
crazy because we're all sitting at computers right now.
Or,
No, they didn't play the Chiefs.
it was like week
um,
1 or something they lost. It was like early on.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do show some vulnerability in, the 5 interception game.
Still won.
Yeah, right. Kind of. Actually, yeah, you're right. I might be looking for holes here, but that's like a glaring one to me. 5 interceptions, but you still win. I mean, I guess that
Oh.
says more about the team than it says about the
They lost
They
to the
lost.
Bucks.
Tampa Bay. Yeah.
20-16.
when Tampa was all healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
when Tampa was probably the third best team or second best
Yeah.
team in the NFC.
I was
Arguably
only
the best.
asking. I
We
was
were talking
curious-
about that.
I was curious if they lost. Their one loss was to a team that they had to play outside. That's
It
what
was
they-
at home that game though.
It was at home. Yeah.
But even if that was outside, it was early in the season in Tampa. What, you played in 85 degrees outside?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they scored 16 that game, and after that, they haven't scored less than 30. Or never mind, 26. They just scored. It's
Ah.
insane.
I hate to see it.
3 touchdowns and a field goal and a 2-point conversion.
They're putting some Madden numbers lately. It's crazy.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, like they went for 2 up 40. Oof, that was crazy. That's some wild
That's
NFL
Dan
shit.
Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. If you're not gonna, I don't see the logic behind that. Like, if you wanted to even out the score, or the kicker wasn't feeling good and he's in the bathroom. Whatever.
No one feels sorry for you when you're losing or winning. Like, I don't care. Stop me. You know,
Yeah,
these guys are professionals. They're getting
It's,
paid to
it's,
do
it's
what
your
they're
job
doing.
to stop them.
Exactly.
Same thing. That's what happened in Ohio State today. The kid went down on the one, and then they pushed it in 2 times, and they're like, "Oh, the Indiana coach is going to be mad." And he was like, "It was a 2-score game. It's a top 5 matchup. You never know what could happen in college football."
Especially with the scoring college too. Sometimes you need those higher scores to make them look like you was a bit bigger win. This way, for the placements and rankings, it matters more.
Well, yeah, for sure. That would, if Indiana lost by a touchdown, is way better for them than losing by 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Lions lock of the week for the podcast. The whole show, everybody says lock of the week. Poe locked it in. He's the one who told us. We can move on. Chiefs giving 10.5 on the road in Carolina, a 43-point total. Speaking of the whole total, what is this? Chiefs going to score 35? 36?
They haven't all year, which is weird. Like, they don't score 30 points.
This seems
their
bad.
Offensive. I don't think this game is relatively like a blowout. It says 10.5, but I would kind of like the Panthers in the points in this game. On the road, the Chiefs offense hasn't looked all that great. Don't get me wrong. I still like the Chiefs in this game, but I actually like the Panthers in the points. As wild as that seems right now, I like that.
I don't think it's that wild.
I mean, 10.5 is pretty large for the NFL, but I just like the points in this game. If I had to give me the Chiefs to win outright, but I do like Panthers in the points in that running attack. Maybe keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands.
That's fair.
That's what I was just going to say. I think they could use Chuba and just milk that clock a little bit.
That's a fair point. And obviously, we had talked previously about this, that the Chiefs haven't really been on their game. They won late in moments that just like kind of benefited them, opposed to the other team with penalties or blocked field goals. Speaking of, Rob, again, almost with the call last week, another blocked field goal. Pick the Bears.
The Bears. I know. Hey, I'm there. I'm so close. You know,
he's on him. He's on it. If you're tailing, he's probably covering the spread. So
if you're
probably
points, you're
probably right. Probably right over here. I don't feel like any of us are going to take the Panthers here, but I do like what you're saying there, as they might cover the spread, as in keep the ball in their hands. But I don't know. DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, this might be a game where they kind of just come in and just, dominate. Like, I feel like Andy Reid could figure this team out very, very easily.
Isn't Poncho back this week too? Pachenko?
I say Pacheco.
He might be. I think they like what they got going with Hunt, though.
I know you want that for your fantasy. You really want that, but I think
is that literally why you said that for fantasy?
No, because Hunt's actually been playing very, very well.
I know, but I still think Pachenk, he ain't gonna just not play if he's healthy.
Currently says limited in practice and out as of now on the NFL website. So, but this has been wrong before, which is weird because it's the NFL.com. Chiefs across the board then?
Oh, yeah.
Outside of point spread. If we're on the point spread, Rob likes the Panthers a little bit. He's leaning Panthers on the point spread, and he's been pretty decent. Very close in these games the last few weeks.
Here's to go back. Isaiah's not cleared to return to football yet.
Oh, well, then he's out. This out is out. Bucks on the road against the Tommy DeVito Giants, giving 6. Mike Evans back.
Mike Evans back. No Daniel Jones for the Giants.
Before we get, do you think
not getting paid?
Do you think this gives the team a boost, like mentally?
The Giants or the Bucks?
Yeah. Giants.
No.
I don't. The Bucks don't care who plays quarterback.
The morale could be lower in New York or New Jersey.
But that's what I mean. Like, do you think it's like all right?
No, not this one.
Because Danny DeVito, as bad as Daniel Jones is way worse than Daniel Jones.
He played all right last year. He played better than Danny Jones was playing this year.
He's a mob guy. He's like, hey, my guy.
Yeah, Zaja.
Yeah.
Mozzarella.
The Bucks, honestly, they've been playing great even with the
Yep.
injuries to the receivers. Now that you get the Mike Evans back, who needs 700 yards in the next 6 games to reach his 1,000 yards
Yep.
again. That I think he's going to be back fully healthy. The
think-
best running back in all of football, Bucky Irvin.
Oh, stop it.
Not the best, but man, that guy's been good this year. And
He's
getting better
good.
each
He's
year.
good. Not the
Mhm.
best.
He's not. I'm a little
They,
sure the best. But
they might
he's
have a
pretty
decision to
damn
make.
good. He's
Yeah,
better than
they-
White.
Yeah,
He
they have a decision to
surpassed
make
White.
for sure next
He,
year.
he leads the league in most missed tackles. And if I'm going to do any score this week, it's
Bucky?
Bucky. Give me
Bucky.
Bucky over 60 yards, Bucky anytime touchdown, and a Bucky 100 yards combined rushing and receiving. Take that to the bank. Congratulations. More money for Christmas for everyone. Thank you.
And he's done, folks. He's gone.
Yeah. Get your Bucky Irving bets in so you can buy
Pepper
Christmas
Cola.
presents for your van.
I think we should all just invest in buying Rob a Bucky jersey.
I wouldn't hate it.
That's
I'm
true.
a big Bucks fan right
Let's
now.
start. Let's get a GoFundMe. Everybody watching, we're gonna start a GoFundMe. We only need like $60 though to get Rob a jersey for.
I'll
Bucky
take a
Irving.
knockoff for 20.
But we
The
want-
numbers could be crooked.
He wants the old old orange one, not the new ones.
Give me the cream. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds weird. But
Either
give me
way. Give him the
Well,
cream.
Give him the
We
cream.
like the Bucks. The Giants, not good.
Mike Evans might get 200 of those 700 yards tomorrow.
he needs it. These are
They're
the games
back.
to get at him. Oh, yeah. And I don't think Neighbors is playing either.
Did they rule him out now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's ruled out.
We should figure these things out
Man,
before
they're
we
just-
tell
You
people.
don't need it. I got you. Neighbors is gone.
Gone.
He's like a fart in the wind.
He's gone. It's solid.
Giants. LOL.
We can move on. And it's funny because you think like the Lions on the road at the Colts is a 7.5 point game, and the Bucks on the road
Mhm.
pretty banged up with their guy coming back as a 6-point favorite. I don't know. I mean, the Giants are worse than the Colts, but that's quite a bit
Yeah,
of points
they
to be in the NFL on the road. Another slobber knocker. Titans at the Texans. Texans giving 8 over 40.5.
This could be a sneaky game for the Titans to actually win this one.
Is it because the Texans have been playing bad?
The Texans have
Because
not
they
been
just-
playing well at all.
They won by 30 last week against some terrible team.
Oh yeah, but that
Well-
that team they played last week is garbage. Like arguably the worst team in the NFL.
Hello. I know.
Hello. But outside of that one, they have not been.
They haven't looked good this year. And
Stroud. It's Stroud. The team kind of well, though. Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon is
Joe Mixon.
good.
Was
He's
good.
only 28, which blew my mind.
I know. I felt like he was at Oklahoma like 45 years
I
ago.
thought he was in the Bengals for a decade.
Yeah,
Like,
for that's what I mean. Like, yeah, and then like when I remember watching him in college, and it was so long ago.
I'm still going to take the Texans this one, but I could see the Titans covering that 8-point spread.
You would bet the Titans getting 8 right
I
now
would take the Titans
on the road.
covering 8. Yeah. Titans play hard. Titans giving words where Titans play hard.
We
I said that this year. Titans are like the Nat team to me all year long. They'll keep you on because they play hard defense. They run the ball.
that's what we said last week because they have good players. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
they don't have a ton of. They have like Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard, and like those guys are like good players.
There's offensive line, like the control clock. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
they always just stay around in games. It might be hard to actually that 1 point. I think the Texans only win by 7. I like the Texans in this one too. I like the Titans in points in this game as well.
27-14 or 21-14.
Something like that. Honestly,
Something, yeah.
I think Titans at that 8. If that's what it stands at, I'll take that. But Texans outright.
Yeah, straight up, I'm taking the Texans. Definitely. The spread, I could see. You guys kind of convinced me, but I don't know if I would take the Titans. I definitely wouldn't bet them. Like, I'm not putting my money there. If I
No.
had to lean a game, or if you
It's
ask
already
me,
all on Bucks.
gun to my head, I'm leaning one way or another. But Texans across the board, riveting picks so far. Cowboys at the Commanders. Commanders are giving 10.5. It's 45.5 point total. This is a
It's
1
not
o'clock
enough.
game, but I didn't put there. It's not enough. Rob has
For
5
what-
trophies
for
behind him.
what
Says
way?
it's not enough.
Yeah, because we're a little banged up as it is. No starting safety, Marquez Bell. Bland might be back this week. Our starting guard, Chuba's out. Jake Ferguson is out. Tyler Guyan might be back. Eric Kendricks is out. Marshall Neal and our rookie defense is still out. CeeDee Lamb's hurt, but probably playing. Jordan Lewis is out. Hunter Lipke's out. Zach Martin's out. Tyler Smith is questionable. Mike Vigil, our inside linebacker, is hurt. With all that being said, give me the Commanders by a whopping 27 points at least, because the Cowboys are dead. They're more than dead. They're roadkill, killed twice, personified dead. I just can't stand them. I can't for the season to be over. Is it all their fault with talent, coaching, and all that? Injuries came up too many too fast. But yeah, I really don't want to talk much about the Cowboys this year until the draft starts. Wait for that show, folks. I'll be a little more lively than that. But yeah, Commanders by 1,000.
Oh,
Well, all right.
Parsons anytime sack though.
I don't see those. I mean, at least on DraftKings, I don't see a lot of because those are ones I feel like there's a big edge, and that's why they take them off. Is you get that one-on-one matchup on one side or the other. Like TJ Watt, I always want to take him. Like when Parsons is healthy, you got to be interested
The
in
premier
that.
rusher.
Kind of bet.
You always
Yeah.
get it.
Adam, do you think the Commanders are going to win by 20?
I don't know if they're going to win by 20. I mean, I could see them winning by 20, but I mean, it's still a division rival game. I'm sure the Cowboys are embarrassed about what happened to them last week. They're going to come out probably with a little more passion this week. I mean,
passion? It's dead. Stephon Diggs is not even traveling with the team. Either Zach Martin. Brandon Cook says, I'd rather wait until Thanksgiving. Literally said, I'd rather wait until Thanksgiving than come back this week.
They're still professionals on that team.
Yeah, professional bums.
I mean, I'm still taking the Commanders here.
Crazy.
Lock
of the week.
No, my lock of the week hasn't come up yet.
I can't lock of the week like 10.5.
No, I can't.
Yeah, that's
Not in the NFL.
This is the game though. This is the one. Jaden Daniels, 100+ rushing yards.
Yeah.
You're calling it.
I'm calling it.
No.
This is the game.
I'll say one reason why it's not. It's getting too late in the season where him running it, if they're winning, they don't need him to run, and he's not going to risk injury to this late in the season just to try to get over 100 yards.
I get it.
Unless he breaks like a 75-yarder, he ain't getting close to 100.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Commanders too. Like I said earlier to you guys, CBS receipt of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to come back from when your premier players are not playing football.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Moving on.
That's that. We can move on. Rob, what do you think about this game? Pats at the Dolphins. Dolphins giving 7.5 and a 46.5 point total at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead, take it away.
This is Rob's back-to-back pick of the week, the lock. Give me the Dolphins in the points. The offense is starting to click again. Tua's head is starting to hurt a little less, I feel. Tyreek Hill's getting involved in the game again.
That's Rob's pick of the week. Lock of the week. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Yep, like I was saying, that running game's going again. The defense is sneaky, been doing all right. Just give me the Dolphins. Going to keep rolling at home this week. Dolphins by 14+. I say 17 total. They win by.
Yeah. I still like Drake May.
This would be a fun one to watch with Drake May.
You guys keep saying that, but they're not winning.
Well, I mean, that's what we said last week. I like Drake May.
Winning.
But I said, well, last week I said Drake May I think is good, but there's nothing around him to
I'll give you that.
Make him better.
It's not the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like Booty and like DeMario Douglas and Jalen
Pollock, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Polk. It's Polk. He just doesn't have the talent around him to be successful, I don't think. And he can only will them to do so much. Like you can only put the ball where you need to put it, and they have to catch it, or they have to, hand the ball off.
T. Higgins will be their star next year.
Or they'll go Travis Hunter in the draft.
I say it's T. Higgins and Hunter and T. Higgins, maybe.
That'd be a nice combo there.
Travis Hunter would definitely be the right thing for them to do, I think.
Let's get some fritters.
Bad teams, I think, need to just bolster your offensive line. You have a quarterback. Like, this is kind of the thing similar to, like, the Bengals. Like, they had a terrible offensive line. They drafted Joe. Right. That's what I was getting at. Oh. You draft Joe Burrow, which I don't think was the wrong move, and I don't think Jamar Chase was exactly the wrong move. But you draft these guys but then there's no one to protect them. Joe Burrow got sacked like more times than anybody his first 3 seasons. It's like look at the Lions. They did this forever, and they drafted skill position after skill position after skill position.
Terrible.
And they're like, oh, Calvin Johnson's cool. Matthew Stafford's cool. Like all these guys. I mean, quarterback's important. That's a little different.
It's the most
now
important.
they're drafting. Yeah. And now you're drafting like Hutchinson and Sewell, and you're bolstering your offensive line and your defensive line, and you're controlling line of scrimmage. And Jared Goff is prospering. I don't think any of us think that Jared Goff is top 5, top 7 quarterback in the NFL. He's playing well, but like he has a team around him that's now it's made to win football games instead of made for Megatron to just be good, which is hard to do on a shit team.
I just keep thinking I'm picturing like Megatron on this team.
Oh God. Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. That'd be the first overall fantasy pick for sure. Megatron on this team. And you could put Amon-Ra or Jameson Williams. Now Jameson Williams, whichever one you want to interchange in there, and it would still work out for him.
Yeah.
Imagine like Amon-Ra as a possession receiver underneath, or then you have the speed of Jameson that you have to take the safety off of Calvin's side.
The running backs, I mean, my God, he
True.
best blocks ever. So I mean, Gibbs, oh my Lord,
Gibbs just looks so good in open space.
He looks just so much faster than everybody else on the field.
Yeah, he does. He really does. It's really something to watch.
Montgomery runs so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gibbs makes like 4 guys look slow, which is insane.
Yeah, it really is. With that,
everyone yelled at the Lions for drafting him too. They knew what they were doing.
I can see why, just because Monty's still a good running back, but honestly, last year they barely even used him. It seemed. Now I think they're finally realizing what they have there. Like this guy's better than everybody else on the field.
I've been watching him a little bit just because I have Gibbs on my fantasy team. They start Montgomery to start their drive, like their first possession, and then like they come out for their second possession, Gibbs. Then their possession, like they rotate every possession, and so they're always fresh. Always fresh.
That's how Tony Pollard. I mean, not to circle back, but his best year is the year that Zeke was getting all this carries, and Pollard would come in and be fresh and just take off. It works.
It makes sense. Well, this year, I mean, from my own perspective, so when Saquon comes out and Kenny Gainwell comes in, I feel like they think it's like pass plays or they're not ready, and then Kenny gets like 10 yards of carry for 3 times the game, and then he comes out of the game, but it just changes up that whole mindset. You're not sure what the next like. All right, so Montgomery's in. Is it got to be a run play or is it going to be a pass play now? Or Saquon comes out. Is it definitely a pass play? It changes everything up in that. But that being said, I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game.
All Dolphins here, yeah.
So we have Rob. Did you pick the? No, you picked the Commanders by 20. So we picked.
We're all the same right now.
Straight across the board. That's dangerous territory. If you're following along, I don't know, maybe a 6-game parlay straight up against us. You might, pay off your house or something. You might pay off your house. This is sort of interesting. The Vikings 3.5 on the road in Chicago, a 39-point total. Division game. Darnold's playing. Bears are questionable.
Caleb,
Rob, how do you feel about Caleb?
Caleb looked better.
I told you last week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know now we're a week, another weekend. How do we?
He used his legs to his advantage last week.
Yeah, he did.
I called it kind of not perfectly, but I said he's not going to look great, but he's going to look better than he was, and he's going to do enough probably to win the game. Granted, like the outcome and all that, but he played great.
I mean,
I can't say great, but he played better than he's been playing. Now, this point spread is a little weird to me. Like 3.5 against the Vikings, who've been kind of rolling this. Is there a bad weather in the forecast or
road game divisional?
It's Chicago. It's always questionable.
I mean, it's going to be cold for sure. I can't imagine it's warm.
It's going to be windy city.
It's going to rain.
But like the Vikings kind of not been that great the last few weeks.
No, they've been like an average team. It seems like they started off so
they
hot.
came down to earth. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. But so then now you're on the road in Chicago in, now November.
It says cold. 40 and foggy. So, I mean, it's not going to be crazy cold.
That's not terrible weather.
I still like the Vikings in this game. Maybe the Bears have a little momentum going now. But if Sam Darnold's fully healthy again, I think that was the reason why, too, they were kind of slipping a little. I mean, Sam Darnold's no world beater, but he was playing great until he got hurt. Jefferson, Bears defense isn't that good. I like their defense still in the Vikings. Yeah, I like the Vikings in this game. I don't know why really it's 3.5, but
Yeah.
Vikings it is for me.
You
like
think
the
you think the Vikings
Vikings.
should be giving more points?
I kind of do, just based off their
Yeah.
records and how their skill levels. Like, I mean, what have you done for me lately? Bears don't look like only a 3.5 underdog to a team that's been kind of rolling this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
get
with
it.
the Vikings just based
Yeah.
off the Vikings defense against a rookie quarterback.
So
Their
you would-
defensive coordinator schemes very well, and I
You
think
would-
it's going to cause confusion. And I think that Caleb's going to, as well as he played last week, this week he's going to look like a little more of a rookie again. A couple interceptions this week.
I could
Just
see that.
the Vikings, they scheme so well.
They have good coaches. Yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings too. So you guys would take the line on the Vikings
I would.
if you were betting
Yeah, I would,
this
too.
game?
Yeah, I like
I
it.
think I would also.
Give me Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings.
39. It's pretty low. I don't think there's going to be much scoring. But yeah, so Vikings across the board. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games where we're all locked in sync. I don't think it's going to change much here. Adam, how do you feel about this game?
Ooh, love this game.
Broncos on the road, giving 6 to the Raiders.
Love this game because there's one man I love on the Broncos right about now. His name's Bo Nix. This is my lock of the week, folks.
The lock of the week. Adam's lock of the week.
The Broncos defense, like we've been saying all year, is just elite. Raiders
Best secondary probably in football.
football, yeah, and their offense, especially Bo Nix running that offense, their offense looks good. And the Raiders are just, well, the Raiders, they're bad.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams, I think, going to have a big game. Bo Nix going to have a nice game. Cortland Sutton looks like a new man with Bo Nix throwing the ball.
It's amazing what winning can do for
It's
certain
amazing.
players. When you're losing,
Mhm.
some guys look like trash. I mean, Sutton looked like he was about to be traded last year. You start winning, players start playing more. They play a little more urgency and more excitement. You
How
feel
about
good,
all the-
play good.
All
I
the
mean,
talk
Broncos have
about
been my AFC team all year long. I
Yeah.
love like what they've been doing.
all the talk about just trading Patrick Surtain. He was the hot name being thrown around, being traded this
Mhm.
week, being traded this week. Man,
I mean, if someone
Thank God
offered the
they kept
Godfather,
him.
he probably
Yeah.
would have been gone.
and Bo Nix, I mean, it took him a couple weeks to kind of get going, but he
Well, I
figured
mean,
he figured the NFL out.
Well, he's got a coach that is good at football.
Oh,
I don't know if he's
very
like
good coach.
a great in the public terms of infection to the public eye.
Quarterback coach too, especially.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen
And
one of the
also
best to do it for a while.
Bo Nix played like 5 years of college football, so that
The
helps a
experience.
bunch.
And also, he played in the SEC and then the Pac-12. He
Yeah.
played very different. Like Auburn
Defenses.
and Oregon are very different teams. The way he has to play, and he adapted to both of those.
Mhm.
And he was pretty successful at both.
He's a very underrated athlete.
Yeah, I mean,
He can
Sean
scoop.
Payton?
he can scoop.
He can
He can
scoop.
scoop. He gets out there and he goes. I like that. I mean, I'm on the Broncos myself, but I will
Yeah, the
say,
Broncos I like a lot this year. If there's like a award for like breakout team of the year, it has to be the Broncos.
yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Them or the Redskins. I mean, Commanders, folks. Sorry, Commanders. There would be the two teams I would say for the breakout.
Yeah, it'll
teams.
probably have to be the Commanders, just based on record right now. But I would be pushing for the Broncos.
See how they
myself.
finish. Yeah, you gotta see how they
Yeah.
finish too. I mean,
Yeah, still a few weeks left here.
I mean,
Yeah.
you still have half a season really in NFL. What, week 12? I guess a little less. Yeah, 6 weeks.
7,
6, 7.
7, 6, something like that. But Brock Bowers is
Stud.
elite.
What Where did he get drafted in the first round? What pick? Like 15th?
Somewhere on there, wherever the Raiders picked.
What was wrong with all the teams drafting in the top 10? They were like, we don't need a tight end. How the NFL's been playing. Like, look at the Kittles, the Kelseys.
Especially since he was the best receiver
Yeah,
on
that's what I'm saying, like,
Georgia, and he was the tight end.
Well,
On the national championship.
Top 15 draft quarterbacks first. So I mean,
Yeah, because
you're
they're
not going
bad.
to take a.
I think he got overshadowed by like Neighbors, Marvin Harrison
he
Jr.
should.
Like, yeah, as he
That
should, but
makes
like
sense a little bit. But
He probably got drafted right where he should, to be honest.
I
Can you
he
say that?
probably should have been drafted higher.
I mean, hindsight's 2020, but when you look at the draft, I guarantee 8 of those teams needed quarterbacks. You always take the defensive line or lineman before the skilled guys if they're elite prospects. He's
He
probably
went
got 15's pretty high for a tight end.
13th overall. Yeah.
13th. That's pretty good for a tight end.
Yeah, he's excellent.
He's a stud. He was a stud in college. He's a stud in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, on a bad team as a rookie, and you're still
He's leading the NFL in the tight end position for receiving.
got to be I was gonna say he's got to be the best tight end because there's no one else that's really emerged. Like all the top tight ends.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kelsey's had
Laporta,
like 2 good weeks.
Kelsey, Andrews, McBride.
Kittle's been playing well, but he's missed a
But Kittle went after all 4 of those guys, at least in fantasy draft.
Fantasy, yeah,
is what I was thinking.
McBride's been pretty solid this year. He was out one week, but McBride's been solid.
It's been a weird year for the tight end. The tight ends have not been as prosperous as they have.
It's a year of the running back. That's why the passing has been down all over the league. Outside the lines and some of their points, you don't see a lot of high-scoring games this year in the NFL.
Unless you're playing the Bengals or the Ravens
or the Lions.
Or the Lions,
but they're the outlier teams though too.
And the Lions are running the ball though.
Lions are doing everything.
Lions are winning because of the
Lions are doing wherever they want.
The Lions are winning, but like the Texans are winning on Joe Mixon's back. Sort of there.
How bad the Bengals' offensive line was. Look, I mean, Joe Mixon, what he did in Cincinnati, good. But now look at him with the actual like.
Dude, he looks like he's like ready to go. Like he's excited to run the football. Where he had to run the football, and
he would be leading the NFL in rushing probably if he didn't get a hip drop tackle on and missed like 2 to 3 weeks. That they didn't call. I have yet to see them call a hip drop penalty this year, and I've seen
maybe
the tackles.
I don't know.
I mean, I seen Tony Pollard's leg get broken. So
here we go. You Cowboys fans.
That's all you. I thought there was going to be more.
No, Cowboys suck. Tony Pollard.
Yeah. So Broncos. Oh.
Yeah.
Should this? Oh wait, no. Adam made this his lock of the week. I played the horn. Lock of the week, folks. We are collectively Broncos fans on this podcast. I think. We were Bucs fans earlier in the season. They kind of got injured. We might be back on the bandwagon, but we have been.
I'm still watching the parade. I'm just not on the bandwagon.
Yeah, the boat parade. We're throwing the trophy, but we have been on the Broncos quite a bit. But we could move on to the next game. An interesting one. The Niners, the Brock Purdy-less Niners in Lambeau. Packers are 5.5-point favorites, a 44-point total. It's at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adam, what do you think?
No Purdy, no Ward, no Bosa. Trent Williams doubtful. I'm still taking the Niners.
Shocking, folks.
Shocking. It's not because I love the Niners. I just think the way Jordan Love's been playing this year, he's throwing interceptions left and right. I think this might be exactly what the Niners defense needs. Their secondary anyway to kind of get back on track.
The one that you just said was all injured?
I mean, Bosa, yes. Injured. Ward not injured, personal. But I mean, it's going to get them back on track. I think it's a must-win game for the Niners. If they lose this game, the season's not over, but close to over. The violin's getting closer and closer here.
Well, I mean,
Um,
if you lose this, you're scrounging for a playoff spot of
You're like 4 games
wild
back of the
card.
wild
Yeah.
card,
but we can still win. What I'm saying, like we can still win the division. Like it's not over.
Well, you're only a
West.
game back out of the
That's
division right
what
now.
I'm saying. Like it's not the season's not like
And it's the Cardinals.
over.
Like it's not like it's the Chiefs are
And you still
running
have to
it.
play them too.
I
Yeah.
just think like the way Jordan Love's been playing, just he's not seeing the field very well. So I think, and the Niners have a really good run defense. They can shut down Jacobs. For me, Fred Warner still best middle linebacker in the NFL. And
He
it's
definitely is. I don't think
Yeah.
that's up for debate either.
It's going to be a huge CMC game. He's probably over 150 total yards rushing and receiving. Probably a pair of touchdowns for CMC. Niners by 3.
Niners, height.
All that to win by 3?
Wow,
Still
say it
hurt.
with your chest.
They're still hurt. They're still hurt.
Yeah, good segue. Good
Aye.
segue, because
Go ahead,
they are
Rob.
hurt.
Because I see in Rob's face that
Yeah, I
he's-
mean,
I think
come on, man.
Rob's got cheese. He's eating cheese curds on
I mean,
Sunday.
I just don't get it. Every week, it's Niners. They're too good, blah blah blah, and they keep losing. And then you just add on all those injuries you just said, including your top 10 garbage can you got, and then like he's gone. Your starting corner's gone. CMC's back, but the Packers defense isn't terrible. I mean, you're on the road. What gives you such conviction that the Niners should probably win this game by 3? They're not that good right now.
Jordan Love is not seeing the
The
field
Cowboys
very
have
well.
been a disappointment this year. Arguably, the Niners have been just as bad as a disappointment this year when it comes to talent and their record as of right now. No one would have said the Niners' record should be as it is right now. Even with CMC being gone, you saw valuable
Yeah.
running backs there. You didn't have any injuries prior to Purdy being hurt this week that would make you have this record as it is. Your coach should be in the hot seat. Your quarterback is trash. We're seeing it firsthand right now.
We have any injuries prior to this week?
Wait until you have to pay Purdy. Wait until you get to pay Purdy. You don't even have these weapons around. God, I cannot wait for that day. All that being said, give me the Packers by at least 7.
We didn't have injuries prior to this week.
Nothing that would matter.
Ayuk's out for the year.
Oh, what did Ayuk do prior to him even being hurt?
Debo missed a couple weeks. Kittle's missed a week.
None of these guys have missed long term though, where all these guys are out.
They've still been out though. What do you mean no
yeah,
injuries?
here and there. You have enough talent.
CMC's been out all
You keep telling me you're
year.
the best coach. You keep telling me you have this great defense, but yeah, you keep losing. You keep telling me CMT, Mason's one of the best running backs in baseball, or baseball, football, whatever sport we're talking about anymore.
Baseball,
God, I
yeah,
hate
he's
this
a
team
great
so
running back
damn
in
much.
baseball.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna keep losing. Your team's over. Your season's over. Just pack up the shirts, go to bed, get ready for baseball season.
I still got hope, unlike you.
Hey, I'm done. That's why I can see
know
I'm
you're done.
rational right now. That's why my picks have been better than yours, because I can see the
You
field
picked
numbers.
the
I know my
Cowboys
heart
2
into
weeks
it.
ago.
Last
What?
week, you picked the Cowboys. You picked the Cowboys last week.
You picked the Cowboys last week.
I had to pick my one last time. My guy, guys. It's your last time going out.
Let
Parsons is
me-
back, you know?
So let me ask this. So the Niners are hurt. With like the Bosa, the Trent Williams.
Which
Other
matters
than
a lot.
that, no, yeah, I know. But you said Brock Purdy is bad.
I know. I'm gonna get like he's top 5. Well,
No.
I'll talk to you
no.
later.
No, let me get the question out. So if Brock Purdy is bad, does the backup quarterback change anything then in your mind?
On the Niners, no. As
yeah.
long as you can throw a 5-yard out on the Niners offense, you could be just as good as Purdy. So
Well,
I don't think their
that's
offense
what I'm
changes
saying.
that much. I don't think it changes all that much. Their run schemes are the same. Their
You're
passing schemes
you're
to get
still on
guys
the
open.
concept that Purdy is just a check down quarterback. He's led the NFL in downfield throws the last 2 seasons.
I don't
Whoa.
see those numbers. I don't see those numbers ever.
Jalen
Just 'cause
Hurts
he
leads
touched
the
ball
league
3
in more
yards
than
and he won
over
the ball
20-yard
3 yards.
throws.
No.
Explosive
Dak probably
plays,
had
they
more
call
than
it.
he did. Airtime fairly, just not how long the passes go after 3-yard water.
That is, I'm talking about airtime.
Yeah, we're talking about your time's over. Niners are done. Give me the Packers.
But that was what I'm saying though. Like if Purdy is irrelevant, then what's his name?
I don't think
Brandon
their
Allen.
offense changes all that much, and I think with the offense,
So who's
I
the better
just
coach?
think they lose.
That's an interesting thing to me. Who's the better coach?
As
LaFleur
of this
or
season,
Shanahan?
this season alone, it's probably LaFleur.
LaFleur has to
season-
deal with a lot less injuries than Shanahan has.
I know, but Shanahan also
LaFleur
has his team for a long time now. He knows them. He's been around them. These guys have been hurt 1 week. They've been back. They're not all been out the whole year. Like They're
No, I
not.
know it's been week and one guy misses this week, one guy misses 2 weeks, one guy misses this week. I know, I get it. I mean,
They're
CMC's
underperforming
played
at the end of
2
the game.
weeks.
He won't admit it,
and-
but they have been
CMC and-
underperforming.
CMC and Brandon Ayuk's been out pretty much.
They
both
underperformed
all year.
for sure, but I mean, if we think
they,
about
they have underperformed, but they've still been
any
out.
team that is expecting to start the season with CMC and doesn't, I think you're.
But no one was missing him week 1 and 2 when Mason was running for 180 yards.
We lost
Yeah, but
week 2.
he was not. He was running for it, but he wasn't catching the ball out of the backfield.
I'm just saying, though, he didn't seem that missed at all, though, when he was doing that well. Now, CMC's back. He doesn't look like the same, but I'm just saying,
still
like, week
missed.
1 through
They're
3, no one was missing
completely-
CMC that much.
They're completely different dimensions.
Oh, I
to
get
the
it.
game.
CMC's the best in the league, but he wasn't missed all that much, it seemed, when Mason was still running just as much as he does.
Who are you taking first in fantasy next year as a running back? Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, or CMC?
Right now,
Barkley.
Saquon.
I mean, after seeing this year, Barkley. There's no reason why Barkley won't do what he is doing again next year, as long as he's not hurt this year with a major injury.
Adam?
I said Saquon.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
It's just that the way he's been playing this year with the Eagles' offensive line compared to what he had in New York.
I know that's off
it's
topic,
not-
but it was just in
It's
my
night and
head.
day.
This game's tough. I don't know. I feel like 5.5 is.
I mean, they're missing their starting quarterback on the road.
No, that's
surprised it's actually this low, to be honest.
well, that's why because that's what I'm saying. So like, I'm not saying Brock Purdy's bad, but I'm saying that I think Brandon Allen could be Brock Purdy. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? So if
I
he
think
does
you could.
that, well, I mean, yeah, I could sling it. I could spin the bean.
He can throw the pill.
Yeah,
So, like-
Jordan Love has thrown an interception in 8 straight games.
So that's
That's
bad.
fine.
No, it's not fine.
It's fine.
No, because
I didn't
Jalen
say it was
Hurts gets
good. I didn't say it was bad.
gets
It's fine.
trashed. If one interception, he's the worst quarterback on earth.
In 8 straight games.
That's bad.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts still has more turnovers.
That's fine. I mean, if I was gonna talk shit about Jalen Hurts and turnovers, all I would talk about is the fumble in the Super Bowl. That was
Yeah, I'll never be there. So I don't have to talk about Super Bowls. Either will you, Fraley. Well, actually, you've been there. You just never.
I've seen them lose too recently.
Yeah, me too.
So, Niners for Rob. I mean, Niners for Adam.
Yes, Niners for
I
Rob.
promise I've been listening. Niners for Adam, Packers for Rob. I don't know. I feel like I would take the points. I feel like I would. I'm gonna take the better quarterback. Coaches, I think, are both very good, but I'm gonna take the better quarterback. And the less hurt team, I'm gonna take the Packers. Would I bet this game? No, because I have
And
no
Jordan
idea.
Love can easily just show up and be how he was to finish the season last
For
year.
sure. That's what
He
I'm saying. I'm
finished
taking
strong. This could be a breakout game for him.
Oh, well,
Maybe this
he
is a
hasn't all
300
year.
plus
I
score.
still think CMC is going to eat in this game though. Like no matter
I do
what
too.
happens, I think CMC is just going to go crazy because if you have a backup quarterback in and you're going to be like,
CMC.
yeah, here you go.
Look
Here
out
you
for I'd say look out for CMC and Juwan Jennings.
Juwan's their number one.
I mean,
Got to be right now.
yeah. So I'm going to take I would take the Packers. If I gun to my head, I had to bet the game. Yeah, straight up spread. I don't know, but straight up, I'll take the Packers. And we are divided on the first game, 19 games in.
I mean, you're not divided. He's just being a homer.
Well, I mean,
I think the Cowboys will lose this year.
Jordan,
Before
I
the
just say
injuries.
he did.
it's when you have a quarterback that's not
I
seen.
think
the
you're
field
the.
well,
I
it's-
think
it's-
Rob's the only person to pick his team to lose because I didn't pick the Eagles to lose.
And that's before the Dak injuries and all that. I mean, I've just been picking how I see it. Sorry, Adam. Oh,
I
I mean,
picked it. I
yeah, like a
picked
first
Arizona.
appearance.
Oh, in my defense, I am 8-2 picking the Eagles.
Well,
Well, I'm 8-2 picking the Eagles.
were you guys 8-2 last year?
No, we were not. We were 10-0, and then we were 10-1,
And then,
and then
keep
we were
going, keep
10-2.
going, Keep going.
and then we were 11-2,
Keep going.
and then we were 12-2. I can't remember. I don't remember which game we won, but then we ended up 11 and whatever it was, 11-5
Lost the division. That's when I was happy.
in the we lost in the playoffs.
The Bucks.
They crush us. They crush us always. I don't know what it is. Baker. I don't know. Gamer. I think it's the defensive coordinator. He's got us figured out. This
And-
game is Cardinals on the road in Seattle. Divisional game again. A 1-point game. Basically a pick 'em. 47.5 point total. The division leading Cardinals that no one. If you bet Cardinals team total over, you already probably cashed. I think.
I think it was
I would
4.
guess. Like so, 3.5. You mean?
Yeah, it was like over 3.5. I think it was for them.
Fuck.
This is a hard one to call. I mean,
It all depends on Gino.
yeah, it depends on Gino, and I mean, and it depends on Kyler too. Though Kyler's had his really good games, but he's had his games where it's like, man, he's been
Yeah,
looks
and like
not in that playbook.
and like when they're like he could still scoot. He could scoot with the best of them,
Always
if
can
not
scoot.
the
Always
best.
good scoop.
But that's what keeps him in the games when he's not throwing the football well, which is kind of like a sub Josh Allen kind of thing without the
He
receivers.
looks like a scooter.
He looks.
He just
I
looks
think I said
funny
it
when
before.
He looks funny when he's scooting.
I saw someone said he looks like a baby that stole your cell phone.
Yeah, he does.
He ran away, which is sorry, Kyler.
Although I will say it was really cool. I don't know if you guys saw the video of him in New York eating pizza and some random guy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
I did
no
see
idea
that.
who he was.
He didn't know, and like Kyler was like chill and just like talk to him and ask him.
Yes,
Like,
that was cool.
but he
Said
was
the
definitely
sauce was too sweet.
yeah.
Fuck off. I love sweet
Kyler-
sauce.
Kyler might not know pizza.
Might not know pizza, but he could scoot. This is a tough game.
I don't
think
know.
it's well, I mean, obviously you're gonna watch Niners and Packers, but this is a game that'll rival it. This is the reason you put probably Red Zone on so you could get both of those games, or
Mhm.
the double box, because I think this is gonna be a good game.
Very good game, I think. Honestly.
If it ends up being a blowout, I feel like there's one way it's a blowout, and it's Seahawks blow them out. If that makes sense, that's just how I feel about it. But if not, if it's close, then it could be either one of them. But if the Seahawks come out and do their thing, I think they might crush them.
I'm picking the Cardinals in this one. I just think they have a better team right now. I think with the James Conner and Trey Benson, they have a good 1-2 punch at running back right now. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. still, I mean, not having the season everyone thought he would as a rookie, but he can still ball out. And like we just talked about, Trey McBride is an elite tight end in the NFL. I think Seattle's going to have some problems trying to stop that offense. Seattle's defense isn't the greatest.
No, neither is.
I think it's by the Crabs.
Neither is Arizona.
Oh, it's probably by the Crabs. I didn't know where the mute button was.
That's all right.
I don't think the Cardinals travel. Segue. I don't think the Cardinals travel well though on the road though. I don't think they're a very good road team at all.
Oh, I thought you meant like their fans. I was gonna say they barely travel to their own
No,
stadium.
I think the
let
team in
alone
general
on the
doesn't
road.
travel very well, and I think that's why I like the Seahawks in this game, just because that it's probably gonna be miserable weather there in Seattle this
Always
week.
is.
That's a
And
fair
I just
point.
don't see the Cardinals. They have to be fine tuned. Everything has to be like running well for them to be like a good team. And I like the Seahawks in this one.
This is the same. I feel the exact same way I felt about the Niners Packers. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna take the Cardinals. But like I said, if it blows out, I think the Seahawks are the only team that could blow this game out. But if it's close, I think the Cardinals can pull it out. In my gut right now, I take the Cardinals. 1 point pick them. You never know what could happen. We can move on.
That's your big gut bet.
Yes. My big gut bet of the day. Sunday night football, 8:20 p.m. Eagles
Who's
giving
watching
3
this?
on the road.
What a stupid game.
Excuse me?
-3 on the road in Los Angeles at SoFi State. What? Oh, they are playing at SoFi. I thought I heard that they have 2 home games because the Chargers are at home too. They play the next day.
Take the floor, Rich. Tell us what you think.
Go ahead.
I mean, we have a much, much better defense than they do. Though I think so. Quinyon Mitchell's been excellent. He's not going to
Yes.
travel, but he's going to be on either one of them 100% of the game. So he's going to be on one of those two the entire game.
2-2 Atwell.
2-2 game. Cooper DeJean has been really good. The other one he has to play against Slay, banged up Slay. Our defense has just been I think it's just been ranked number 1 in the league as far as defense goes. I don't see their defense stacking up against us. Our offensive line is better than their defensive line. Saquon is just next
Amazing.
level.
Yeah.
It's just next level. And it's like against the Commanders, it was like 16 carries for 60 yards, which isn't great, but it was like wear you down. Good offensive line, wearing you down, and then Saquon is still just gas, even at the end of the game. I don't know. I think they're just a better team. I do think the Rams are good, though. Like Kyron Williams is really good. Obviously, Cooper Kupp is really good. Puka Nacua is really good. Puka Nacua seems like he's not fully healthy. Every time he got hit last week, he was like getting up, like I just got my bell rung kind of here or whatever. He got the wind knocked out of him on the one play, which isn't like, but I don't know. Matthew Stafford's probably one of the most like elite, like run of the mill quarterbacks left in the NFC with this team, and they have a really great coach. But I just think our team is more talented than their team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. No Smitty, but AJ Brown is still AJ Brown. Saquon still Saquon. Our offensive line is better. We control line of scrimmage. Saquon controls line of scrimmage. I just don't think that they match up that great against us. 3 points on the road. If it was at home, it's probably a touchdown or more. I'm going to take the Eagles.
I can see why. I'm glad you mentioned your corners too, because honestly, I'm very excited to see these Eagles corners against this wide receiver core and this quarterback.
Me too.
Not to take anything away from the Eagles because they've been winning. They've been winning, but honestly, they're probably the most impressive. I know they beat the Commanders last week, but prior to that, they haven't really played, I think, a competitive football team like the Cowboys, Jaguars, and all. Like the schedule. I mean, schedules really are.
I've been thinking about that too, man.
They've been beating them, in which you got to beat the teams on your schedule, especially the easy ones. So I like that. I'm really excited to see the corners versus these receivers. I think this gives a true test of how good that defense really is. Because up to this point, I know the Commanders have been scoring in Jaden Daniels, but I mean, you guys were at home, like you guys just had it rolling. Like it was nice. But I'm excited to see this. I like, much as it pains me, I like the Eagles to win this game, but I think this is a true test of their team, and I don't think this is going to be that run them down, blow them out kind of game. I think this is going to be like a blow for blow kind of game. I like both coach. Actually, I like the Rams. I like the Rams coach more. I don't think Nick's.
I think everybody else would agree with you in the league.
I think I'm truly just excited to see your defense versus the Rams offense, more so the Eagles or vice versa. I'm excited to see that matchup, and I do think the Eagles, as bad as Elliott looked the last few weeks, he kicks a game winner to give the Eagles the win.
So bad.
It was just 1 week, and he was really bad. That's kind of what I was saying. Like our defense against their offense, because our defense is better, and I don't think their defense is good enough to play with our offense. Adam, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with.
I say our like I'm on the team.
I think the Eagles are going to blitz a bunch this game, trying to get pressure on Stafford. And I think he's just going to, like I said last week, he is so good at just first read balls out of his hand. And I think that's going to hurt the Eagles secondary a little bit because they're not going to have time. They just don't have time to react when it's a 5-yard slant, 5-yard out. It's just 2 steps, the ball's out of his hand. I mean, it's so hard to defend. I'm going to take the Rams in this one just for that reason. I think Stafford's just going to nickel and dime them down the field a bunch. And it's going to be almost like running the ball. It's going to be these little throws, controlling the clock with it. It's like pretty much short handoffs, pretty much, but thrown. Even by 3, it's going to be Rams. It's going to be a close game, but Rams.
Yeah, I mean, every fiber of my being wants to see Eagles lose this game. Like, I don't like picking the Eagles, but I'm just trying to pick realistic what's probably gonna happen. But I mean, I would love to see nothing more than the Rams win. But I think the best way of them doing it is make Hurts be the guy. The last few weeks,
Yeah.
Barkley's been that guy.
Steve-
He's taken over the game more than her. I know that a few weeks will make Hurts throw the ball kind of game, but outside of that, it's been the Barkley show the last 4 weeks or so. I wanted to see the Rams control Barkley a little bit. I want to see Hurts to see what he could do again. Like, prove to me why you were MVP candidate. Throw the ball again. Show me what you could do. And I'm very excited. This is probably my most excited game to watch this week. To be
So
honest.
I think Smitty being out really hurts the Eagles, honestly, because now the Rams could just put one more defender in the box because they don't have to worry about
Dodson.
another threat. I mean, that helps defending Barkley. So it's really going to be like, what could Hurts do to AJ Brown? Because the Rams could pretty much stack the box now with Smitty being out.
So
I mean,
you're
teams
stacking the
have been
box.
doing that,
You're going to
they
stack
still
the
lose
box
points.
and play man-to-man against the best man-to-man wide receiver in the league.
They could stack the box and still have a safety over the top, play man to man. I mean,
Against a receiver that's playing the best against man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it's still man to man, but safety still over the top. He's not. He won't beat them. Deep.
I'm just
They're not
asking a
gonna let him
question.
beat him deep.
Well,
I
that's
also
what that's.
trust
I mean, that's
McVay.
not what AJ Brown's game is. But yeah,
I also trust McVay a lot too when it comes to scheming and taking away a guy's best player. I mean, he's so good at coaching. He's going to find the weaknesses, and I truly am excited about this game. I love to see the Eagles lose this game, but just to see them just be tested again, and I'm excited to watch this.
I honestly, I want the Rams to lose.
Well, yeah, you should.
I want them to. I mean, but I just feel like Matt Stafford just, man, just 2 steps, ball out to Puka. Or,
I mean, he's great. He's a great
yeah,
quarterback.
it's just going to be hard to defend. I mean, they're, like I said, the DBs aren't even going to have a chance to break it up.
We'll see. We'll find out. All their games are at different times throughout the day, so
Yes, they are.
You can watch them. You don't have to watch the Cowboys. Watch something else. But honestly, the Packers game too probably over half.
I'll throw the Cowboys on in one of the squares for you.
Yeah, if you're tired, you can take a nap. White noise.
So I've heard people say Quinyon Mitchell is already the best cornerback in the league. Thoughts?
I need to see more than 1 week. I think I'll go back to my point where the teams they played have been basically bottom the barrel teams the last few weeks, where the defense has started to rise. That's where I think his stardom's starting to come from. And I just need to see him do it against a team who's scoring against Eagles as well, where there's a lot of pressure. Like, the Eagles have really hasn't been in a close game lately either. I mean, they kind of pulling away, making teams be one-dimensional, and that helps the Eagles a lot. If this game's close or the Rams have a lead, I think this makes McVay be able to call different play designs, get guys open, better coordinator than the last few weeks he's seen. All that, Mitchell, he's on his rise, but I still think he's better than like Surtain or Sauce yet. But given that, there's no reason why he can't be knocking on the door to be one of those top tier guys, because he is, as of right now, he's playing the part. He's not getting beat, locking down guys. But I think it has a lot to do with the Eagles always being up and making teams one dimensional.
Well, I mean, being up would make them throw the ball. But
exactly, but you could play for that though. You could have safety. If you know a team's not going to run the ball against you,
right?
I mean, it helps. They showed it too. Mitchell, he always has a linebacker shading his way too. He has other guys over the top. It's not like it's just a pure Deion Sanders, I'm taking away half the field kind of thing yet. So we'll see this week against 2 really good receivers.
We'll see. I mean,
really good.
I'd rather take the number 1 defense over that. But
also excited for this game. Bunch of fantasy in this game for myself here.
Also a ton of fantasy on bye weeks. The bye week seems insane this week. But yeah, a lot of fantasy in that Sunday night matchup. I feel like a lot of people, their games are going to come. Well, it might come down to it, but 2 Eagles, I think.
Reverse jinx, baby, it's on.
That's Rob's favorite game. Monday Night Football, Ravens coming off a loss, giving 2.5 on the road to the Chargers. I would have to just say that this is my lock of the week. And you can give me the Chargers at home against the Ravens. Ravens defense is bad. If your defense is bad and you have an offense that controls the clock and understands, to me, they understand their players. They understand exactly what they have to do.
It's a very well coached team.
It is a very well coached team, and it's a very well designed team
though.
to do. Well, that's true. I mean, they're both Harbaughs. They're both very good.
Brother versus brother.
I think that so like the Ravens don't use Derrick Henry like they use like Dobbins and like Edwards and stuff to control the clock. I'm lock of the week, getting 2.5 at home on Monday Night Football. I'm taking the Chargers.
Adam, remind me, last time these two coaches played against each other in the NFL, who won that? And that coach who won that game, that's the coach I want to win this game as well. Just who was that?
Where was that though? Did I get to watch my team in the Super Bowl again?
Yeah, who won a more recent Super Bowl? That's right. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, give me the Ravens this week as well. Not only because this Harbaugh has the other Harbaugh's number easily. That has just a little shot. But yeah, I like the Ravens. I think it's a bounce back week for the Ravens. I like Lamar in this game, being Lamar MVP. I know the Chargers have been playing great defense, but I mean, the spread is 51 for a reason. Or not spread, but the over and under is 51. So there is going to be a lot of scoring in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there has to be. That's what Vegas is thinking. And I think this is a Ravens Lamar kind of game. Give me the better Harbaugh.
Yeah, I like the Ravens in this one as well. I think Ravens have a bounce back from last weekend. Lamar gets back, like Rob said, his MVP form and just score a bunch of points. Maybe their defense comes along this game. I doubt it.
You just need like a turnover. You just need like one of those takeaways.
What's good about this though is like the Ravens have a really good run defense, but poor pass defense. Whereas the Chargers run the ball a lot to try to control the clock, but the Ravens can stop that. I think Ravens have like a top 3 run defense. I know a couple weeks ago number 1. So I mean, whereas their pass defense, I think is last in the NFL. It's wild.
Yeah, their secondary is bad,
and it shouldn't be because Kyle Hamilton's so good at football.
Yeah, he's been hurt though.
This is getting down to my favorite time of the year where MVPs start playing like they need a win. Like obviously they need to win all the games, so they do more little extra. This is the games you start seeing the Allen, like last week Allen. You see Lamar start like, all right, you guys are cool and all, but like listen, I'm gonna win this kind of game here. I'm gonna do everything. Kind of like that week 1 Ravens game again, where he just did everything. I know they lost, but still like he's just gonna do everything he can to win this game, I feel. And give me the Lamar. This is my
is this the
set
Lamar
of the year, a week.
Is this the Lamar game where it pretty much not seals it, but comes close to sealing his second MVP in 2 years, back-to-back MVP seasons?
Yeah.
Well, they're total MVP, but it'll be back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, he's on the way.
I just say I think like I'm with Rob. I think Lamar is going to have a huge game this week.
Do you think this is a year that a quarterback does not win the MVP award?
Not this year.
No,
unless you're thinking Barkley, but
Barkley will win Offensive Player of the Year. I mean,
that's how it always. That's why they made the award. Yeah,
CMC had probably the best shot last year to get MVP. I mean, he did it all for the 49ers last year.
I mean, you could probably argue Derrick Henry also, but it's probably if any other player, it's probably
Derrick Henry's just scoring touchdowns. He's not like having these like
he has 1,100 yards rushing.
Yeah, but he's not like having big games that make you think, oh yeah, Derrick Henry.
He still can reach 2,000 yards.
He's at 1,100 yards rushing.
It doesn't seem
probably more now.
Being talked about, like it's like a low key like.
Everyone says he's the best running back in the league.
I mean, pure runner, like just straight downhill. Yeah.
I'm just to answer your question with the MVP though, but if like CMC didn't win it last year, no running back's going to win the MVP.
No, that's fair.
It's not a bash to Barkley. It's just like because CMC's numbers were way better than what Barkley has right now, and not maybe way, but they were better. And he didn't even finish top 2. I mean, Dak came in second.
I think and Purdy finished ahead of CMC.
Yikes!
Oh boy.
Well, And that is
That's the picks, folks.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
So, but in other news, how about the Aaron Rodgers news about he wants to play next year, but not with the Jets already. He already wants out.
They might bench him for the rest of the year too. I saw
saw
from the
that.
IR.
He probably has incentives or something. Like that.
I heard something about them cutting him already. Actually,
He probably wants to be.
Cowboys, huh?
I mean,
You would really want that?
I have Cooper Rush
it's better.
and Trey Lance.
Better than what
Yeah,
they
I'll
got.
take Rodgers.
No, I would rather.
It's
see what
crazy.
else they got.
They fired Saleh though,
It's a circus.
thinking he
It's
was the
not a normally
problem.
run team.
They got so much worse.
Do you know how many jerseys he could sell if he get Rodgers in there for 6 weeks?
Yeah, I mean a Cowboys jersey. Yeah, $1 million.
That's what I'm talking about. Jared Jones doesn't care about the winning right now. It's all about the bottom
he
line.
wants the
If he
money.
can get Rodgers in the door.
They still don't have a run game though, even with Rodgers.
I mean, I'm not talking about lying in pockets. I want to know about if I'm winning. My team's gonna win. That's what.
Oh no, I don't think Rodgers helps the Cowboys. I'm just saying hypothetically that he was there any more than what
He's
Cooper
not.
Rush or Trey Lance is going to do. But I'd say Jared Jones would probably do it just to be a circus.
He's
Of
not
course he
even
would.
helping the Jets though. He's the reason they lost a couple games actually.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they want to bench him for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's not like he doesn't have good players to throw it to.
It's not even
they-
like they have a backup quarterback who's ready to take the reins either. I mean, he's just been bad.
That's the story of the Jets right there.
I mean, that's just crazy. Like Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall.
Sam Darnold's going to come back next year.
You should not be bad.
Darnold's only a 1-year deal. He might be back.
And their defense shouldn't be bad, but their defense is trash.
Well, because their offense isn't scoring, and they're
I
always
know their offense is like
always
three
on
and
the
out,
field.
3 and out. Yeah.
They're always on the field, and you just
But, I
can't
mean,
stand that.
At least what's solid there, their defense was playing better.
Well, he's the best defensive coordinator like in football, and they got rid of the one guy who was actually helping.
I
the
know.
team.
Yeah, to keep Rodgers happy.
That's my Cowboys' dream scenario. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator, solid defensive coordinator. That's my dream.
That'd be a dangerous combo right there.
You think Saleh's not going to be a head coach,
I think he needs 1
I don't
year. I
think
think it's
he-
like a
he won't
Dan
be head
Quinn
coach again.
situation.
or he
I think-
falls back just
Dan
because?
Quinn all over again, kind of.
Saleh might make a reunion with the 49ers next season. Get that defense squared away
Might be their
again.
head coach.
Never.
Don't talk crazy. I'm not
That's what
one
they're
of those
for.
fans. I'm not one of those fans saying get rid of Shanahan. I'm not that stupid.
Well, let me see here. Let's get the touchdown pick of the week. The Tutty picks. You guys give me a touchdown pick.
I'm taking
Anytime
CMC.
score.
Bucky Irvin.
We got Bucky Irving. We got CMC. For me, I feel like there's quite a few that feel easy.
Barkley.
If I was gonna pick one, I was gonna pick AJ Brown in that game. Tyreek Hill, anytime touchdown for sure.
Love it. That's my lock of the week. I like that.
That feels like a very lockable, locked in pick. But I feel like you can pick anybody from the Lions, you can pick anybody from the Chiefs.
I just feel like any workhorse running back this year is probably have a good chance of scoring. If your running back touches the ball 20 times, he's probably going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like you pick anybody from the not anybody. I feel like you pick like 3 guys from the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like
don't
Nick Chubb, 2 touchdowns. Like he got the ball 20 times. He got 22 carries or something like that. 2
Yeah.
touchdowns.
50 yards and 2 touchdowns.
2 tutties is still nice though.
Hey, and
yeah,
college football news here. Alabama just got smoked.
crushed 24-3.
24-3.
Well, there goes their playoff chances. A 3-loss team can't make the playoffs.
No, they can't.
No,
But
Now it's 12.
somehow, some way, the committee will let them in.
It's
No.
over. That's the Saban bias back in the day with the Alabama
Yeah.
always having it. Now it's different regime, 3 losses. It's end of an era. Try again next year.
Yep.
Boise State, another win.
Oh, I actually wanted to watch that game. I thought it was like a late game.
Genty,
Well,
18 carries,
it's 11.
169 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, is it 11 o'clock already?
Um,
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of 11 o'clock, if you guys don't have anything else, we're an hour and 24 minutes in.
It's been a great Saturday, folks.
I think
It was a
the
good
people are
Saturday.
probably tired of hearing about us. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Not much other than I hope the Cowboys, just keep on losing out. Same with your two teams, and we just watch some exciting football.
Lose out and exciting football, Adam.
I hope the Niners win this week. If not, I pray
There's a
they
seat next to me on the-
figure it out quick.
on the couch.
If not, I'm with Rob on the lose out and get a draft pick here. But hey, good luck, everyone.
I don't need to look. I already know we lost.
Okay. Well, for Rob, for Adam, I'm Richie. This is the Probably Wrong Podcast. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Birdie's still trash, even hurt.